Und damit herzlich willkommen zurück zu einer weiteren Runde von Fire Emblem Warriors Three Hopes. Wir sind hier im Speicherbildschirm und wir stehen, glaube ich, vor dem letzten Kapitel des Prologs, was ehrlich gesagt auch Zeit wird, weil ich bin es langsam leid, dieses Kapitel das dritte oder vierte Mal zu spielen. Also stürzen wir uns gleich rein.
Prologue. The Shadows of Adrestia.
Wobei, das Kapitel haben wir noch nicht gespielt. Sind ja nur die ersten drei gleich.
The humble Tomas shapeshifts and flees, and not even the knights of Ceres's most concerted efforts can track down the erstwhile librarian. Meanwhile, Edelgard seizes upon Monica's rescue as a chance to start down a radically different path than she had originally planned.
Things went like clockwork with Monica.
Thanks to Professor Yuritsa playing his part so ably. And equally to those arrogant fools for letting their guards down.
I doubt we will see such fortune next time.
Next time? Oh, don't tell me.
The moment has come to take matters into our own hands at the Imperial capital. This is our chance to finally be rid of them.
But, Lady Edelgard, we aren't ready. We'll need an entire host to keep them in check.
And we have one. The Church.
Forgive my impertinence, but that is not the plan.
You are the man who once told me to leave no sword in its scabbard.
Yes, but one must also take care not to wound themselves when unsheathing it. I am sorry, milady, but this plan is ill-advised. I cannot support it. And even if I were to ignore common sense and go along, it still throws our future plans into disarray.
I thought you devised countermeasures to deal with the Church. Use them.
But those were meant for... Very well. Are you absolutely certain this is the path?
Ich finde es witzig, dass Edelgard und Dimitri so loyale Untergebene haben, während Cloud sich mit Hilda rumschlagen muss, die ja sogar das Haus wechseln kann in Three Houses. So, sie kann da halt am Ende, oder halt Cloud kann da am Ende ganz alleine rumhocken.
Yet the bandit attack in the mountains created an opportunity we cannot ignore. And I doubt the appearance of this new mercenary is simple coincidence. Plans can be rewritten, Hubert. Either we're doing this, or we're not. Will you sit around and wait for a miracle? Or will you help me seize control of my fate?
I am with you, Lady Edelgard. As ever. Then let us walk forward on this path, and see where it takes us.
I apologize for bringing this to you on such short notice, Archbishop.
Not at all, Edelgard. But might I ask, what prompted this sudden desire to return to Enbar?
We believe one of Tomas's collaborators may have infiltrated the capital.
My word!
Tomas tended the library at Garrigmach for decades, with nary a blemish on his record. And then, without warning, he drops his disguise and reveals himself to be a vile sorcerer of terrible ability. Someone at the capital also fits that pattern. A man we know all too well.
And who might that be?
My uncle, and regent of the Empire, Volkard von Arundel.
His lordship briefly defected from the Empire before reappearing several years later. But he returned a changed man, and began seizing power almost immediately. Witnesses claim he wields dark magic in secret, and is able to change his appearance at will.
That does sound suspicious, if these witnesses can be believed.
I would ask that you do believe them, as the information comes from my own House Vestra.
I see. And when you return to the capital, how do you propose to deal with this uncle of yours?
Lord Arundel has the support of a number of influential nobles, including the Prime Minister, Duke Eyre. And while we have allies of our own, it's likely they'll require some convincing. To that end, we wish to bring our friends here at the Academy, their daughters and sons, with us under the supervision of Professor Yuritsa.
We hoped you would consider deploying the Knights of Seros, so the Imperial Army doesn't get any strange ideas.
You wish to march on the Empire, with the Church's knights at your back?
Your support would give credence to our claims.
Additionally, the Knights would keep the populace in check upon our arrival, thereby preventing the city from descending into utter chaos.
The more I hear of this, the more credible the threat sounds.
It's clear you have thought carefully and planned well.
We intend to seize the palace with our own forces, and will do our utmost to contain the conflict there. But we still need your help. Please.
Also, wenn Edelgard um etwas bittet, dann ist es sehr
I
ernst.
have two conditions. The first, when you capture Lord Arundel, he is to be turned over to the Knights at once. The second, our Knights are not to engage in battle directly.
I would have it no other way.
Step lightly, Edelgard. Should these claims about Lord Arundel prove false, we will take action accordingly. Make no mistake as to who will be held accountable.
Understood. But please know we have nothing to gain from deceiving the Church.
Very well. I will summon the Knights and let you instruct them as to your plan. May the Goddess watch over you all.
Well, that was certainly an unexpected conclusion to the whole Tomas saga. Thanks to his shape-shifting ability, he slipped free of the Knights and escaped.
Shape-shifting.
Yes, that's what I said. Also, I know what you want to say next. His powers are just like the ones you gave me.
Hey,
Those
hat
powers
doch
are
recht.
just like the ones you gave me. Are you in league with him, Arval? Where did these powers come from?
If I am in league with him, no one has informed me. All I have is you, my dear partner in destiny.
Ich finde es witzig, dass diese Strähne, die Aval überm Ohr hat, auf dem Sprite kürzer ist als in seinem Model.
Still, I saw what you saw. Clearly, we don't have a monopoly on shapeshifting.
And now that everyone knows about Tomas, some of them must have connected the dots back to me. At least they've had the grace to keep it to themselves.
It's because they trust you. Hold on, someone's coming.
Ah, there you are.
Something wrong?
I must return to the Imperial capital soon for an important matter. Will you join me? Most of the other Black Eagles are coming.
What's this about?
I fear I must keep that to myself until we're closer to the capital. But I promise you this, there will be battle, and you will have a chance to shine.
Are you sure? I mean, these powers I have...
Are like the ones Tomas used? Yes, that is a bit disquieting. Still, you've given me no reason to mistrust you. You could have wrested yourself free of us from the start, but instead you chose to stay here at the monastery. You fought by our side and helped us save Monica. I think I can give you the benefit of the doubt. But here's my true proposal. If you accompany us, there's a good chance you'll learn where your powers come from.
Ooh, now is intriguing.
In that case, I accept. Thanks.
Wenigstens ging der Loading Screen schnell. Oh, wir haben jetzt Monika zur Verfügung. Und Ferdinand ist nicht bei uns. Bernadetta ist auch nicht bei uns. Kasper ist auch nicht bei uns. Linhard ist auch nicht bei uns. Ich frage mich, was für ein Kampf uns da erwartet. Ich sollte mich umhören, um mehr darüber zu erfahren. Tja, die Hälfte unseres Teams ist nicht da. Wie schön. Hi.
Do you have a moment?
Morgen werden wir Enba erreichen, also ruhe dich gut aus, damit du für das Kommende gestärkt bist. Oh, wird es so schlimm? Ja, wir rechnen mit einem schweren Kampf, aber ich freue mich darauf zu sehen, welchen Beitrag du leisten wirst. Tja, na dann. Dann sehe ich mal zu, dass ich und meine Ausrüstung bereit für den Kampf sind. Danke. Oh, und vielleicht wäre jetzt ein guter Zeitpunkt, mit den anderen zu sprechen. Dich so ruhig und gelassen zu erleben, wird die unter uns, die dem genannten Kampf nervös entgegenblicken, beruhigen. Aber mit dir müssen wir nicht reden. Gut. Hallo, Monika.
Over here.
Ah, du kommst gerade recht. Ich wollte mich noch einmal bei dir bedanken. Das wollte ich schon viel früher tun, aber es war in letzter Zeit so hektisch. Und auch wenn My Lady Edelgard mir leider nicht alles so detailliert berichtet hat, klang es doch so, als hättest du sehr zu meiner Rettung beigetragen. Also, danke dafür. Und das kommt von Herzen. Na dann. Oh, ich habe doch gar nicht so viel getan. In Wirklichkeit war es Edelgard, die dich gerettet hat. Aber ich bin froh, dass du in Sicherheit bist. Und wenn ich ein wenig dazu beitragen konnte, umso besser. Nun, ich bin zuversichtlich, dass du in Ember noch Größeres leisten wirst. Ja, hoffentlich. Ich möchte nichts Anstandloses sagen, aber Milady Edelgard hat sicher viele Befeindungen. Wenn wir in Ember ankommen, werde ich mit all meiner Stärke kämpfen. Ich kämpfe nicht nur für das Kaiserreich, sondern auch für Bridget. Diese beiden haben verschlungene Schicksale. Na dann. Ich weiß zwar nicht genau, was hier vor sich geht, aber ich wurde angeheuert, um zu kämpfen. Und genau das werde ich auch tun. Besonders, da sich alle auf mich zu verlassen scheinen. Deine Anwesenheit gibt uns Beruhigung. Also, lass uns zusammen kämpfen und uns den Sieg holen. Mit dir will ich nicht nochmal reden. Ich weiß nicht warum, aber ich habe ein komisches Gefühl. Vielleicht, weil ich nicht damit gerechnet hatte, dieses Jahr in die Hauptstadt zurückzukehren. Unsere Gruppe ist ein bisschen ungewöhnlich, findest du nicht? Ferdi, Kaspar, Lynn und Bernie sind nicht dabei. Ich bin überrascht, dass die meisten Kinder der 6 großen Adelshäuser in Garrick Park geblieben sind. Oh, aber Hubie musste natürlich dabei sein. Wie dem auch sei, man fragt sich, gegen wen wir denn genau kämpfen werden. Hab grad Wein in der Ecke. Ich habe einen Vertrag. Und deshalb bin ich hier. Arbeitest du für die... Ist das ein Vertrag mit der Kirche? Hat er damit zu tun, dass ihr als Magister für die Akademie arbeitet? Denk, was du willst. Das war ein kurzes Gespräch. Hallo, Hubie. Angesichts deiner Vergangenheit kann ich mir die Frage, ob du für den Kampf bereit bist, gewiss sparen. Wir werden in Ember auf dich zählen. Sei das Schwert in der Hand von My Lady Edelgard und vernichte ihre Gegner. Du solltest auch wissen, dass der Sieg im morgigen Kampf auch für dich persönlich große Bedeutung hat. Oh ja, natürlich. So, ich ruhe mich lieber noch etwas aus, ehe es ans Kämpfen geht. Hi. Danke, dass du mit allen gesprochen hast. Es ist ziemlich spät geworden. Du solltest dich für morgen ausruhen. Na dann. Kurz auf die Matratze gehauen, paar Zets in die Luft gesetzt und let's go.
Yes, my lord. Rooted right out of the monastery.
First Kranya's debacle and now this. What in the world is going on?
I know not, my lord. What are we to do?
Keep our composure for a start. Send word to the kingdom and see that Cleobulus is informed. Tell him to remain prudent. If he must go into hiding, so be it.
War Cleobulus nicht Cornelia? Warum richte ihr? Müsste es nicht heißen, richte ihr?
At once, my lord.
Vielleicht ist das ja auch ein Kerl, der sich als Frau verkleidet hat. Wer weiß es doch schon.
Lord Regent, I have urgent tidings to report.
Das ist ja heute eher so eine fluide
You
Sache.
may enter.
Forgive the intrusion, my lord, but we just learned the Knights of Seros march on Enbar. Their purpose is unclear, but they will arrive by morning. We've been turning ourselves upside down to make ready.
The Knights of Seros? No. Do you think...
There's only one person who could be behind it. How dare she bare her fangs at us? They may already be within the palace walls. Mobilize the guards and search. If anyone so much as looks at you askance, kill them on the spot.
Yes, my lord.
Her Highness has given the signal, Valdemar.
Already? I had thought they were still negotiating. Things are moving rather quickly.
The situation must have changed. Our children are still at Garrick Mach, after all.
I admire how strong she's become. I just wish we'd had more time to appraise her competence.
Well, if she's caught us with our breeches down, imagine how they feel. I can't wait to see the confused look on those dastards' faces. Oh, I'm going to enjoy every second of this.
As if you'd be content to watch. Once the battle starts, you'll be knee-deep in gore with all the rest. Which means I'll have to make it clear where I stand. We can't afford to tear the Ministry apart by having the pen and sword at odds.
These are your instructions. I imagine they may not come as a surprise to many of you. For some time now, Enbar Palace has been infested with the same darkness you saw in Tomas. They have made a puppet of the Emperor and plot with disloyal subjects to seize control of the Empire. Our objective is to stamp these traitors out, seize the palace, and reclaim the Empire for our own.
You realize it's just us, right, Edie? That sounds kind of impossible. Still, the Empire is having many soldiers. Perhaps you could be changing their minds?
Those who can be won over will be. And the realization they are fighting the Imperial Princess ought to dull the others' blades. We have also secured the cooperation of several nobles inside the palace.
Very impressive, Your Highness. And very you. I suppose all that remains is to head inside and take care of business.
Tja, da mal los.
Watch. We'll take them all down and have the bards singing our names by nightfall.
So here we are, ready to deal a masterstroke to the heart of the mighty Empire. Life with you certainly isn't boring.
We'll infiltrate the palace through the rear gate, then apprehend Lord Arundel and Duke Ire. From there, we'll secure the palace's strategic positions, eliminating all resistance we encounter along the way.
If that is our plan, then time cannot be wasted. You can hear them scrambling in the palace from here. Let's not wait for them to find their bearings. Lead the way, Your Highness. Oh, and make sure to keep her safe, Hubert. You know every square inch of that place, after all.
Just mind you don't fall prey to your own distractions.
These villains have had free run of my house for too long. Today, I take it all back.
Na dann mal los. Wir haben viel vor heute. Ja, wir können immer noch nicht viel ändern. Aber wir haben die ganzen Sachen, das könnten wir den anderen eigentlich mal geben. So, hier. Gönn dir, Edelgard. Gönn dir. Ich hätte dich aber lieber mit einer Axt, da bin ich ganz ehrlich. Haben wir eine nette Axt, die wir dir geben können? Nicht die Teufelsaxt. Oh, wir geben dir einen Hammer. Das wird doch eine Hammersache. Oder die Axt hier. Wir können hier auch einfach einen Zaffern geben. So, wir geben hier einfach mal... Oh, geht nicht. So. Hier wieder Zerschmetterer. Einfach mal hier ein bisschen optimieren, optimieren, optimieren. Tja, wir sollten ihr das lieber nicht geben. Sie hat kein Wappen. Geben wir das. So, haben wir hier irgendwas Nettes? Oh ja, Hubert hat kein Wappen. Zauberexpertise. Klingt gut, hauen wir drauf. Haben wir was gegen Pfeile? Da. Immunität, bitteschön. Machen wir sie fertig. Geben wir den Tiernamen. Ah, hier ist die Framerate wieder so gut.
In that case, we'd best find and apprehend Duke Ire and Lord Arundel before they grow wise to our scheme.
Duke Ire should be in the throne. We'll enter through the back way.
Yes, that way
Also
you
hier.
will never see our coming. But we must hurry.
The guards along the way are in Duke Ire's employ, so deal with them as you must.
Okay. Sind schon längst 10 Punkte weiter. Das Spiel kommt gar nicht hinterher. So schnell sind wir. So, da geht's gar nicht weiter. Mein Fehler. Jetzt noch hier rum. Klopf, klopf. Wie geht's uns denn allen?
Surrender, Duke Ire.
What in the... No! Seal the gate now!
Well,
Und weg ist er.
complicates things. We'll have to cut around through the gardens.
Da ist noch einer. Begib dich durch die Gärten, verfolge Herzog Elke. Also hier lang.
Then soldiers to the gardens. I want a sword on every path between myself and those rats.
Dann mal los. Wir haben einen weiten Weg
The
vor
man is
uns.
so desperate he doesn't realize he's already lost. So let us break through and prove it to him.
Bin dabei. Physische und magische Angriffe. Ich glaube, das Tutorial hatten wir schon mal, ne? Also, weg damit.
No offense, but what's to stop him from running away?
Oh, I already solved that particular problem.
Bin ich mal gespannt. Aber schön ist das hier.
The time has come,
Gefällt mir
ministers.
sehr hier.
Show the Duke your true allegiance lies with the Empire.
Oh, der hat auch eine schöne Waffe.
Apologies, Ludwig, but if you want to leave, it'll have to be through me.
And if you want back in, you must go through me. Although I must seem like nothing in comparison to that bear at the front gates.
You would turn on me now. Preposterous.
Wir sind gleich da.
So those are the nobles you won over? Where'd you find the time to orchestrate that?
Now that we have Duke Ire pinned down, let us clip his wings for good.
Naja, das ist halt einfach Edelgard. Was soll ich dazu sagen?
No. You're still outnumbered, and this isn't done until I say it is.
So, das war er. Oh, hi, du bist ja da. Entschuldigung.
Finished, Prime Minister. Lay down your arms and surrender peacefully.
Er ist schon besiegt.
Use the fire orbs. I don't care if you bring the palace down around us.
Hey.
Just do it.
Na, klasse. So, da ist einer mit einer Truhe. Petra.
Begin.
Sei so lieb und kümmere dich um den.
The Sky Spirit.
Leave this one to me.
Und du gehst dahin.
That's my cue.
Und dann
Here
kann
I go.
Edel
No mistakes.
nämlich dahin
Let's
gehen.
learn who they're
Right then.
Und dann kann Hubert da auch mit hingehen. Und Monika hilft hier. Und wir sehen einfach gut aus, wie immer.
We should probably do something about that.
Ach, wir können mit Dörfia gar nicht spielen. Irgendwie dachte ich, sie wäre als spielbarer Charakter dabei. Nein, sie ist nur als Unterstützung da. Naja. Okay, wir haben den Schlüssel. Dann gehst du mal kurz zur Truhe.
Yes, but he is the one we need to worry about. Keep moving and remain alert.
Duke Aya's been captured already. The wretch didn't even have the grace to buy me some time.
Und was will ich hier? Haben wir hier auch alles durch? Perfekt.
Well, I've little interest in facing Birdie. So it's time for me to deploy my wild card.
Dunkelheit.
Dark magic.
So, einen haben wir da. Hubert, du gehst da. Du gehst. Oh, natürlich solltest du lieber dahin gehen. Dann ein dahin. Und wir amüsieren uns hier so lange, bis sie da sind. Lauf, Hubert, lauf. Hast du die Truhe immer durch eingesammelt? Langsam wird's Zeit.
Come, Voldemort.
Sehr gut.
You and I can split up and sweep the palace.
A fine idea, Paul. Let us make clear to these fell warlocks that they are most unwelcome in this place.
Ihr macht das schon. Okay, sie ist da. Ach ja, Petra konnte ja so gut ausweichen. Oh. Sie war ja so ein flottes Mädchen. So. Dann können wir da auch hin. Falscher, den da wollten wir. Oh, sie hat noch Faustfähigkeiten. Naja, dann kloppen wir einfach so auf den einen.
You know, it may benefit us to learn more about this dark magic.
Petra ist angekommen. No. So, und das wird er. Hallo, Hubert.
That still didn't stop them. It seems they came prepared for any eventuality.
Schön, hast du das gemacht?
We need to reach Lord Arundel before he slips through our fingers.
Tja, würde ich mal sagen, auf ihn. In diese Richtung geht's.
Duke Aya or Lord Arundel and oppressed Her Highness will receive no quarter from us.
Hubert, you finally said something I like. Now let's go stamp them out.
Nevermind.
Begin. Begin.
Wir haben hier noch ein bisschen was zu erledigen.
The Sky Spirit watches over me.
Leave this one to me.
So, dich beschützen sollst den da kaputt machen. So, Edelgard kann weiter kämpfen und naja, dann machen wir das da oben eben. So, dann laufen wir eben ein bisschen. Bis halt die anderen an ihren Positionen sind, dann können wir kurz switchen. So halt, es laufen gerade alle, also von daher müssen wir nicht switchen. Petra ist da. Oh, das ging schnell.
Wretched vermin.
Jetzt hast du es uns aber gegeben. Ich zittere wie Espenlaub.
Which is why you must die. Lady Edelgard chooses to abide your existence no longer.
So, alle Bergwerke wurden besetzt, also,
I'll take over.
auf ihn?
That takes care of the cleanup. I think so. Order
Auf
of
ihn.
Highness should be very pleased with me indeed.
Whether or not she is pleased with you should be of secondary concern. The most important matter is what benefits Lady Edelgard. Any final words?
Tja, ich hätte gerne noch geguckt, ob Edelgard noch eine Kombo mit ihm hat.
Sorry, what?
Are you starting to understand the situation you're in?
Aber so weit wird es wohl nicht kommen. Ich muss nämlich noch ein bisschen laufen. Und der hier wird hier gerade ein bisschen gegangbangt.
My turn. I'll take over.
Und sie hat es geschafft. Guten Tag. Tja, sieht so aus, als hätten sie keine Kombo.
I know when I am bested.
Not happening.
We are the darkness itself, and the darkness cannot be slain.
Naja, doch schon, wenn man das Licht anmacht.
He escaped.
Cowardly of him. But we can take comfort in our victory either way.
I guess.
Now what?
Huh? Are you kidding me? When mercs want to celebrate a win, we slap our open palms together, like that.
Tja, blöd, du hast die falsche Hand hingehalten. In der Hand, mit der sie einschlagen könnte, trägt sie ihre Waffe. Hättest die andere nehmen müssen.
Commendable victory, Lady Edelgard.
Thank you, Hubert. Still, I don't much like how those rats managed to keep skittering away.
I imagine that guy's pretty close with Kranya and Tomas, since he shapeshifted and all.
Yes. They are all part of a clandestine organization attempting to conquer Fodlan from the shadows. Those who slither in the dark.
Huh. Never heard of him.
Ist nicht gerade so, als wären sie eine offene Gesellschaft.
So, what is the plan now, Your Highness? We make ready for my coronation. Hubert, gather everyone in the throne room.
At once, Your Highness.
Oh, this is wonderful! Your Highness is going to become Your Majesty! Yes, but first I must speak with the Minister of Domestic Affairs, as well as the other counts. Also, I need you to go to the Knights of Seiros. I wasn't expecting all of you this soon. What are you doing here?
We demand an explanation. You arrested my father, Edelgard. How could you do such a thing without discussing it with me first?
I'm probably not getting the finer points here. But you basically defeated both my father and Ferdinand's. Is that right?
I wasn't fighting your father, Caspar. He was aiding me, as was Count Hevering.
So, what about my father? Did you arrest him?
Unfortunately not.
Oh, okay.
Wie enttäuscht sie
Look, I'm
ist.
sure you have your reasons for all of this. But maybe you should sit down and talk us through it.
And I intend to. We'll reconvene later and clear everything up then. Monica, join me. We'll talk as we go.
Ja, wir haben mal leider ein bisschen zu wenige Gegner getötet. Upsi bupsi, das kommt vor. Wir waren halt mega effizient. Naja, haben wir es geschafft. Dann können wir jetzt ja endlich mit dem eigentlichen Spiel anfangen. Noch so viele Mittelstufensiegel, uns geht's gut.
And you say I have 2 years to complete these preparations.
In cooperation with Count Hevering, of course. You and Hubert can finalize the details later. As I won't be choosing a prime minister for some time, I realize this may result in extra work for you. However, that also means more latitude to do things as you see fit, so long as you ensure we're prepared for a 5-year war.
I will not rest until I discover a solution, Your Highness. So long as our military leaders don't tread on my toes, I shouldn't have too much difficulty.
For something this big, you better believe we'll have plenty of need for resources. Leave it to a narrow-minded quill carrier like you to call that treading on your toes.
In Her Majesty's name, I will decide what is and isn't appropriate regarding your needs.
Ach, wie ein altes Ehepaar.
Also, anyone would seem narrow-minded when compared to a swollen-headed juggernaut such as yourself.
A juggernaut, huh? Yeah, I like the sound of that.
I see someone allowed his sarcasm lessons to lapse.
Moving on. Lord Arendel's followers will doubtless attempt to interfere, so we'll need to keep a close eye on them. Once Count Varley joins us, we can discuss the matter I mentioned further.
It seems he's just arrived, Your Majesty.
Apologies for my tardiness. Gregoire von Varley at the court service. My, but attendance seems light. Where is the Lord Regent and the rest of our noble six?
Duke Eyre stands accused of treason and has been dismissed as Prime Minister. He currently awaits judgment in one of our finer dungeons. Lord Arundel is a fugitive from the same crime, and will be taken in soon. Dead or alive, it makes no difference.
Well, this is a rather shocking turn of events. I had no idea Ludwig was capable of such things. Still, rest assured that I am nothing like him.
Indeed. And as for the others, Duke Gert was dispatched to Western Fodland to conduct negotiations. And my father, the late Marquis Vestra, perished in the struggle to capture Duke Eyre. Which makes me the new Marquis Vestra, and Minister of the Imperial Household.
Ah. You've nothing to fear, Count Varley. Her Majesty intends to bestow a great honor upon you.
Majesty? Wait, you mean...
The title hasn't been formalized just yet, but as it stands, you should view it as a foregone conclusion. More importantly, Count Varley, there is a very important position I wish for you to fill. I intend to rebuild the Southern Church, and who better to be the bishop than you, our Minister of Religious Affairs? I will make my case to the Archbishop personally.
Thankfully, Lord Arundel and his men are no longer around to obstruct such a move.
You would bestow such a position on me? Make no mistake, it is a great honor, but are you certain?
Very. Now then, your first duty in the role will be to oversee my coronation. Do not fail me, Bishop. I'm sorry to keep you waiting. Are you enjoying your stay at the palace?
Ja, es ist fein hier.
I expected, though I do feel a bit out of place here.
Understandable. Everyone here either is a noble themselves or serves one. However, that will change. As Emperor, I plan to end discrimination based on social status. Everyone will have a chance to rise to the top, whether they are born into the aristocracy or not.
No more nobles or commoners, huh? That does sound pretty great. I'll be impressed if you can actually pull it off.
Oh, I will. But at the moment, I have a proposition for you.
Go on.
We've successfully expunged the Prime Minister and the rest of that puppet government. But a certain amount of unrest is unavoidable, which means I must remain here in the capital. In other words, I can't go back to Garreg and continue my studies.
What about the others?
Our noble families will be in disarray as we transition to my system and new heads of household take power. Of course, some, like Dorothea, are not as affected as the other students. But all of them have offered to stay and help rather than return to the monastery without us. If you'd be willing to do the same, I'd like to offer you a top post in my new military.
Now there's a tantalizing offer. It's not like you have any real obligation to the church. Plus, it sounds like quite the thrill.
True, true.
I'm more of a hired sword than an officer.
Which is why you're perfect. Hubert wants to recruit mercenaries such as yourself and form a new unit. I can't put some noble in command of them. That would be ill-advised. But they would listen to a capable fighter such as you. You're Hubert's first and only choice.
Was macht er dann, wenn wir Nein sagen? Zwingt er
I don't know
uns?
if I really have the experience for it. But if you have that much faith in me, I won't let you down.
Having deposed Lord Arundel and Duke Eyre, Edelgard quickly arranges for her coronation, her eyes now fixed firmly on the monumental task laid out before her. All the while, the kingdom of Fargus is thrown into unrest over the right of succession, while the Leicester Alliance finds themselves pitted against an invading Ulmyran horde. Realizing the troubles of Fodlan will fall squarely on her young students' shoulders, Archbishop Rhea closes the Officers' Academy and permits her charges to return home.
Und damit sind wir endlich durch mit dem Prolog. Das wurde aber auch Zeit. Junge, Junge, Junge. Ich dachte schon, wir kriegen den gar nicht durch.
Scarlet Blaze. The struggle commences. It is the end of 1181. 2 years have passed since the Officers' Academy closed its doors. Having ascended the throne of Adrestia, Edelgard has begun to enact sweeping change. The Holy Kingdom of Fargus now calls Dimitri its king, while Claude reigns over the Leicester Alliance. All three house leaders have found their wings as rulers of a new generation. With the whole of Fodlan still reeling from these rapid changes, Edelgard decides the time has come to usher in a new era.
People of Fodlan, the Empire will stand by no longer.
Schauen wir uns das Artwork mal in Ruhe an. Naja, so viel ist eigentlich nicht zu sehen. Schade.
Together we rise against a church that has become steeped in deception and corruption. The church has used their doctrine to deny you power and reshape Fodlan as they see fit. They thrust upon you the illusion of nobility in order to oppress who they choose, and they helped create the kingdom and alliance as a pretext for war. Finally, They teased you with the promise of salvation from pain they themselves inflicted, and did so in the name of their own profit. Well, I say no more. The Empire has severed herself from their hypocrisy by restoring the Southern Church and nurturing her people's well-being. And today, we purge the world of their evil forever. We will retake Garreg Mach from the Central Church and stamp out any nobles who abet its depravity. By my title as Emperor Edelgard von Hresvelg of Adrestia, I hereby declare war against the false Church of Seros.
The past 2 years have flown by in but the blink of an eye.
And while they felt short, they were certainly eventful. The Empire has come far since we removed Arundel from power. We reformed the government, remedied our diplomatic troubles, and bolstered our military.
And most significantly, we gave strength to the Southern Church, creating the perfect wedge against the Church of Seros. A shame our bishop has become the target of relentless censure as a result, why the Central Church even targeted him for assassination.
Nein!
Poor Count Varley. It could not have happened to a finer man.
Der Arme.
And then there's the matter of Lord Arundel. What are he and his minions up to now?
Slithering in the shadows of Fodlan, much as they have done for centuries. It will not be easy to drag such adept skulkers into the light.
Perhaps not. Then for now, let's remain focused on the formidable adversary ahead.
Did you call us here, Edelgard? It's good to see so many familiar faces.
I did, and thank you for coming. This may be the first time I've seen all of you in the same room since the Officers' Academy closed.
Likely, yes. We have all been rather busy marching down the separate paths life laid out for us.
Or most of us have, anyway. Others, such as myself, managed to eschew work in favor of a more leisurely existence.
Hey! I was working hard at staying in my room, but still... Father's been dreadfully busy, so he's never home. Which has been pretty nice, actually.
I was returning home to Bridget. I finished my task, and now I have been returned here.
Well enough. Now, as you know, the Empire will launch its attack on Garreg Mach in the coming days. Emperor Edelgard will lead the invasion personally, and wishes for those present to form the backbone of her army.
And as it has been some time since Adrestia had an army under the direct command of the Emperor, I fear we currently lack for officers. I trust each of you, and can think of no candidates better suited for the job. Will you do this for me?
Haben wir eine andere Wahl?
So you've got other plans for my father's army, I take it? Well then count me in. I'm ready to go whenever.
I would have been happy with a life serving you here in the capital. But if war is coming, I want to see it through myself. I'll go wherever you go, Your Majesty.
Tja.
I'm always
Machen wir
ready.
sie fertig.
Plus, it's good to know I haven't been training this hard for nothing.
I've high hopes for you, and trust you will prove the wisdom of my decision.
Just you wait. I'm gonna hurtle clean over those high hopes and show you what I can really do.
Be certain to save some of your hopes for me, because I most assuredly have what it takes to succeed. And with that... New Empire Army, move out!
Ferdinand, kindly leave the commanding and naming to me.
Er ist wirklich nicht der Beste, darin Namen auszudenken, nicht wahr? Wir sind ein Waffensammler. Stufe 3. Umgebung der großen Brücke von Myrden. A.k.a. unser Camp, das sich magisch durch die Gegend teleportiert. Und egal wo wir sind, es sieht immer gleich aus. Da haben sie dir aber ein schönes Zelt gegeben, oder? Scheint sich auszuzahlen, die Rolle der Kommandantin einzunehmen. Allerdings, hier läuft alles ganz anders ab als in den kleinen Trupps, mit denen ich früher unterwegs war. Jetzt habe ich einen Platz nur für mich, wo ich mich entspannen und meine Sachen in Ordnung halten kann. Das heißt wahrscheinlich, dass sie sich eine Menge von dir versprechen. Möglicherweise sogar mehr, als man aufgrund deines Titels erwarten darf. Ich muss schon sagen, das ist wirklich ein beeindruckendes Lager. Hast du gesehen, wie viele Händler es hier gibt? Bist du fertig mit deiner Besichtigungstour? Ich glaube, ich habe gehört, wie dein Arbeitgeber nach dir gerufen hat. Oh, Manuela ist jetzt dabei. Und Jeritza auch. Und, der Torwächter, den kriegt man, wenn man das Spiel im dritten Durchlauf ist, was wir jetzt ja sind. Und Ferdinand ist wieder da. Und Bernie ist wieder da. Und Casper ist wieder da. Und Linhard ist wieder da. Und einige Einheiten haben neue Ausrüstung erhalten. Oh, haben sie. Ja, Edelgard hat jetzt eine neue Waffe. Sie hat jetzt Labraun da. Früher hatte sie ja ihren alten Eimer. Also, das war kein Eimer, die Axt hieß halt Eimer. AY, nicht wie halt, ne, der Wassereimer. Eine auf das Serus-Wappen abgestimmte heilige Waffe erhöht alle Heileffekte, wenn ihr Nutzer das entsprechende Wappen trägt. Was sie ja hat. Sie hat ja 2. Cool. Ansonsten haben wir alle noch dasselbe, ne? Oh, sie hat den Ursprung des Windrufers. Eine auf das Wappen abgestimmte heilige Waffe erhöht alle Heileffekte, wenn ihr Nutzer das entsprechende Wappen trägt. Oh, cool. Cool. Und der Torwächter hat nichts dabei. Schön. Hat der eigentlich Supports? Es würde mich doch sehr wundern. Ja gut, er hat C-Supports, aber halt keine Texte, so halt wie die anderen Charaktere. Cool. Aber ich würde sagen, wir machen an der Stelle eine Kurzpause und dann sehen wir uns beim nächsten Mal wieder. Und dann geht's halt endlich mit dem Spiel los. Das war jetzt ja eigentlich mehr so Vorgeplänkel. So, der Prolog und so, der ist ja fast, also bis auf das letzte Kapitel, was wir gerade gespielt haben, ist das ja so ziemlich gleich. Aber gut, wie gesagt, wir sehen uns dann beim nächsten Mal wieder. Ich hoffe, ihr seid auch wieder mit dabei. Bleibt gesund und bis dahin verabschiede ich mich wie immer mit einem Ciao.